Hey everyone, getting ready for this deep dive into your notes has been pretty fascinating. You've chosen some really ambitious role models. So it seems like you're not just trying to understand them, but actually looking to kind of follow in their footsteps, right? To figure out their secrets to success. And that's awesome. I love it. What really stood out to me is the variety. You've got everyone from like tech giants, Elon Musk, of course, to leaders like Angela Merkel, and even creatives like, oh, J.K. Rowling. So we're going to uncover some interesting insights today, that's for sure.
Yeah, you seem to be drawn to people who kind of break the mold,
Yeah.
Like take Elon Musk, for example. His ventures like Tesla and SpaceX. I mean, they're pretty audacious, to say the least. And then there's his time management system, breaking his day down into 5-minute chunks. It seems a little counterintuitive,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. I mean, you noted how much you admire his ambition and his knack for solving problems, but how does this micro-scheduling thing actually work? Is it all about just like staying busy, or is there something more to it?
I don't think it's about being busy at all. Actually, this hyper-structured way of doing things forces you to really prioritize what matters. It takes away that decision fatigue, that feeling when you're just mentally drained from making choices all the time.
Hmm.
And then it lets you zero in on the tasks that really matter. And it's funny because there's a connection here with Jeff Bezos. He's all about a similar idea, just with a different approach.
Oh, you're talking about his rule of making only a few but important decisions each day. It's like a less is more kind of philosophy. I can see why that resonates with you, especially with your goal of achieving more without getting completely overwhelmed. But how do you actually avoid getting bogged down in those everyday tasks while still holding on to the big picture, like Bezos does with Amazon?
Well, Bezos is like the king of strategic thinking. He gets that we all have limited cognitive bandwidth. It's basically our mental capacity to process information and make decisions. So by saving his energy for the big decisions, he avoids that decision fatigue and can really focus on guiding Amazon toward its long-term goals. And this deliberate focus on the bigger picture, that seems to really speak to you, doesn't it?
It really does. But, it's one thing to make those strategic calls. It's another to actually carry them out and do it with the kind of calm leadership Angela Merkel has shown over her entire career. You pointed out that she's amazing at analyzing complex situations, even when things are crazy, and then she makes decisions that benefit everyone. So, how does she pull that off?
Well, Merkel is all about consistency. And she has this really strategic approach to leadership. She makes time to reflect, even when things are chaotic. She takes these evening walks to process everything and make decisions with a clear head. It's kind of like you. You need to step back and really think things through, especially when things get tough.
It's like finding that calm in the middle of a storm. It's something I really admire about Oprah Winfrey, too. You mentioned how she connects with people on such a deep level, and her daily routines, like meditating and keeping a gratitude journal, seem to play a big role in that.
Oh, absolutely. Oprah's routines are all about self-awareness and mindfulness. It's not just about relaxing, it goes deeper than that. It's about understanding your emotions, the way you react, your strengths, your weaknesses. And when you know yourself that well, you can truly empathize and connect with others.
So it's not about being zen all the time, right? It's
Yeah.
more about actively working on that inner balance. And that seems to tie into what you admire about her, the balance she strikes between her personal life and her amazing career.
Exactly. Oprah shows us that balance isn't about splitting your time perfectly down the middle. It's more about making a conscious effort to grow as a person and achieve things professionally. And she proves that these two sides of our lives can actually support each other. They can lead to more fulfillment overall. It's a journey, not a destination. It's all about constant adjustment and figuring out what matters most at any given time. It's interesting how Oprah's focus on that inner work connects to someone else on your list, Bill Gates. I mean, everyone knows him for his tech innovations, but you're also interested in his dedication to always learning new things, right? Like setting aside hours every day just to read.
It's not just reading, though, is it? He really digs into the information and uses it to tackle problems and push boundaries. And just like Musk and Bezos, he uses time blocking to get as much done as possible. They've all sort of mastered that intentional time management thing, haven't they? Each in their own way.
You got it. They all understand that time is like the ultimate resource, and they've come up with systems to use it wisely. But beyond just managing time, there's this deeper idea at play that constant pursuit of knowledge is what really drives success. And Gates embodies that perfectly. He sees knowledge as the fuel for innovation and coming up with solutions.
It's not about memorizing facts, though. It's about connecting the dots, seeing the big picture. Which reminds me of Warren Buffett, another person you admire for his patience and long-term planning. He also reads a ton every day and views it as an investment.
Right, exactly. Buffett sees knowledge as an asset that grows over time, like something that keeps gaining value. It shapes his investment choices and his long-term strategies. It's pretty cool how this mirrors your own approach. You're careful, you analyze things, and you want to build something that lasts and makes a real impact.
It's like they're all playing the long game, thinking decades ahead. But sometimes success needs a different kind of bravery. The kind where you embrace your creativity and stick with it even when people doubt you. That's what I see in your admiration for J.K. Rowling and her story.
Yeah, Rowling's story shows how powerful it is to believe in your vision, even if it seems unusual. Her habit of writing during those quiet hours, it highlights how important it is to have dedicated time for those creative pursuits. She built a whole magical world, piece by piece, through consistent effort and that unwavering belief in herself.
She turned rejection into fuel, didn't she? It proves that if you're persistent and dedicated, you can overcome any obstacle. And speaking of overcoming challenges, we can't forget Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google. You're drawn to his calm leadership style and his focus on innovation, but also his habit of starting his day with reading and quiet reflection.
Pichaya's approach really shows how powerful strategic thinking and mindfulness are in leadership. He understands that to be an effective leader, you need clarity, focus, and the ability to inspire others to share your vision. It's not just about telling people what to do. It's about building a culture of teamwork and empowering people.
He's creating an environment where innovation can thrive. By prioritizing thoughtful leadership and building those strong teams where everyone feels heard. And then on a totally different note, you're inspired by Serena Williams and her incredible discipline and determination. Her intense training routine really shows how dedicated she is and how much she wants to achieve greatness.
Williams embodies what it means to persevere and work hard. She pushes herself, physically and mentally, showing us what it takes to be the best, no matter what you do. And like a lot of the people we've talked about, she stresses how important mental focus is, especially when you're under pressure.
It's that unwavering determination, that ability to rise to the occasion. That's what makes her such a strong competitor. And last but not least, we have Malala Yousafzai. She's someone whose courage and commitment to education are truly inspiring. It's clear you admire her resilience and her ability to speak up for change, even when she's faced unimaginable hardship.
Malala's story is a testament to how powerful education can be and how important it is to use our voices to stand up for what's right. She shows us that one person's actions can create a ripple effect, inspiring others to fight for justice and equality.
It's amazing, right? We've got this diverse group of people, all with their own paths to success. But there are these common threads that run through their stories. It's not just about what they achieved, it's about the qualities they represent. Focus, discipline, resilience, that constant desire to learn, the commitment to always keep growing, the ability to build strong teams, and a deep sense of purpose.
You nailed it. These qualities aren't something you're born with. They're not just for the privileged or the super talented. They're developed through conscious effort, practice, and the willingness to see challenges as opportunities to grow. Anyone can cultivate these qualities. It's all about choosing to work on yourself.
That's pretty inspiring, isn't it? Knowing that those qualities aren't just like magically bestowed upon some people, but things we can all work on and develop. But how do we actually put all this into practice? We've talked about these big ideas, these long-term goals, but where's the starting point?
Well, that's where things get exciting. It's easy to feel a bit overwhelmed with all these inspiring examples, right? But the key is to remember, it's all about finding what really speaks to you and what aligns with your own personal goals. You don't have to transform overnight into a time-blocking, rocket-building bookworm extraordinaire.
So no pressure to adopt every single habit we've talked about.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to change everything all at once, just think about one specific habit that really resonated with you during this deep dive. Maybe it's something like Oprah's gratitude journaling, or perhaps you're intrigued by that 5-minute block schedule that Elon Musk uses, that laser focus.
Okay, so pick just one thing and really give it a try. That makes it feel a lot more manageable.
Exactly. Commit to practicing that one habit for a week. And during that week, really pay attention to how it affects you. What are the roadblocks you're running into? Are you noticing any positive changes? Maybe in your productivity, your ability to focus, or even your mood?
So it's not just going through the motions, right? It's about being aware of the impact it's having. It's like conducting a personal experiment, testing out these success strategies in real life.
Exactly. It's about getting hands-on. And then after that week, you decide, do you stick with this habit, tweak it a bit, or try something else from our list? The goal is to find what genuinely works for you. What helps you move towards your own unique definition of success?
It's like you're building a personalized success toolkit drawing from these amazing role models, but ultimately you're crafting a path that's all your own.
Right. And it's crucial to remember this is a journey, not a race. There will be days when you totally crush it, and there will be days when you fall short. It's completely normal as part of the process. What matters is that you never stop learning, keep growing, and just keep moving forward.
That's so true. Progress over perfection, right? And as you embark on this journey, I think it's so important to remember something we touched upon earlier. Success isn't a solo endeavor. It's about creating connections, surrounding yourself with your tribe, and contributing to something much bigger than yourself.
Absolutely. Whether it's working together on a project, leading a team, or just sharing what you know with others, success often multiplies when we connect with the people around us. And we see that collaborative spirit in so many of our role models' accomplishments.
It's like they're all part of this amazing symphony, each playing their unique role to create something beautiful and impactful. And you, with your own set of talents and dreams, get to add your voice to that symphony.
And that brings us to a final point, which is perhaps the most important of all. What kind of legacy do you want to leave? What mark do you want to make on the world? Those questions can guide you on your journey.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want you to consider this. You've been studying the habits and the mindsets of these incredible people. Now it's time to take all that inspiration and craft your own story.
Embrace the challenge, trust your instincts, and never ever stop learning. The world is waiting for your unique contributions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Until next time, keep diving deep, everyone.